Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Night Sky this week. I'm your host, Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy. I love seeing you guys around here. I've got the chat room open. I've got comments coming in. Love to hear where you're joining me from today. I'd love to see where you folks are from. We've got folks from Portugal. We've got folks from Greece, France, the United States, all over the U.S. as well. And a lot of you, I recognize your names, and I appreciate so much you joining me and supporting my videos. And if you like my videos, please do hit that subscribe button and get that notification as well. I'm now broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and also on Twitter. So I welcome all my Twitter viewers as well. Great to see you here. Why don't we just dive in? We're at the beginning of May. Today is May 2nd, 2002. And there's always interesting things in the sky every week, isn't there? So let's just dive in. Let's see if we can move into this area here, into the planetarium program. There we go. So here we are. This is the sky as it appears sort of mid-northern latitude on the Earth. So I'm on the 45th degree latitude line, almost exactly, here in Montreal, Canada, just north of the border with the United States. And this is the sky, and it's pretty much the same view that you would get, constellations and such, in a wide range of latitudes. And of course, if you're watching from the southern hemisphere, the orientation will be different, but very similar constellations as well. So if we dive right in, one of the things that you'll notice, we're broadcasting this on May 2nd, Monday, is if you look at my friend Taurus, the bull constellation, right here, zooming in, what do you see is a whisker-thin crescent moon. This is really just gorgeous, beautiful setting, because it's not just that you have the moon in the southwest low skies, but also the planet Mercury. So this is really neat because, you know, Mercury is the innermost planet in the solar system, and it is joining the moon. Now, of course, the two objects are not physically close together. The moon orbits the Earth. Earth is the third planet from the sun, and Mercury is in orbit around the sun on its own and is the innermost planet, the planet that's closest to the moon. And the pair will be very close together. If we would take a measurement of this, we can see. Let's see if we can do that. Let me just take that off. Let's say we make a measurement from Mercury here with my program. We can do that, I hope. Let's see. Let's get the measurement here. Why is it doing that? That's strange. Let me cut that off and see if we can. There. And we want to measure it to the moon. So we're about 5 degrees from the moon between. So what is that? If you look at where I am in your screen here in the lower left, it's basically your 3 fingers, middle fingers, held at arm's length and like that. And you hold it like that. And that, the width of your 3 middle fingers, on average, is about 5 degrees in the sky. It's very rough measurement. It's just something, it's a handy measuring tool. We have our hands to use on the sky. And there's about 5 degrees that'll separate Mercury from the moon in the sky. So that's what you're kind of looking for when looking towards the southwest. You'll look towards the western sky, excuse me. You would look for Mercury just underneath the moon, about equal to your 3 middle fingers held at arm's length like that underneath the moon, and you'll scan that part of the sky for Mercury. It's really easy to do, and it's neat because the pair will be like that, but that's only for tonight. This is after sunset, and I would go out about 15 minutes to a half hour after your local sunset tonight, Monday, May 2nd, and start trying this, and wait until the sky gets darker. You'll pop into, the first thing you'll see is that whisker thin moon. And if you have binoculars, bring them out because they'll help tremendously to see that. Now remember that if we would magically look at where Mercury is in the solar system, I'm just going to show you the graphic here. There's Mercury up close, and you can see the tracks of the planets in color, different colors in the background, right? But if we zoom out like that, and we zoom above the plane of the solar system, because all the tracks of the planet are kind of like in a disk. If you imagine like how a plate is, or a frisbee disc, that's how it is with the sun at the center. Of course, there you can see it. That's looking from above. This is looking from the side, right? That's what we were just looking at. But if we magically go above the plane of the solar system, you'll see Mercury right there blinking. There's the sun. And look where Earth is. You see that? See, from our vantage point, Mercury doesn't appear very far from the sun. And it doesn't matter where it is in its orbit. It will always appear close to the sun from our vantage point. It's a planet that's closer to the sun physically, and it orbits much closer sun. So if we can look at it from the side view like that, you can see if we line up Earth and the sun, see that Mercury doesn't look too far away from the sun. Also, take a look at this. You see Uranus? That's one of the ice giants at the outer edges of the solar system. And look at that. That, from our vantage point, almost lines up with the sun. In fact, it does this week. Uranus is undergoing what we call a solar conjunction, meaning it's lined up with the sun. It's behind the sun directly and hidden from our direct view here on Earth. So don't bother even looking for Uranus with binoculars, which otherwise it may be visible. It's bright enough if it was far enough away in its orbit from our vantage point. But Earth moves pretty fast in its orbit. It takes, of course, 365 days to go one trip around the sun. And we can see Uranus a little bit later in the month. Just give it some time. So that's where Mercury and Earth is in relation to each other. Now, if we magically go back to our sky, there we are. We've got it set up after sunset. But if we go a little bit later in the evening, see, the moon has already set. So the moon sets pretty fast on Monday. But if we kind of change this to skip in days, watch where the moon is. The moon then pops up even once the sky darkens. There it is to the lower right. It's underneath the star Elnath, which marks one of the ends of one of the horns of Taurus, the bull. And Taurus is already set. Taurus is traditionally a fall, early winter, really great constellation. So now that we've changed seasons recently, we're in the springtime in the north and in the fall in the southern hemisphere, it's now not as well positioned. But you can see that the moon is, as we hop into Wednesday, we're on Wednesday right now, this view, you'll see that the moon is even better positioned. And I can see people joining on the broadcast. We've got Marco joining from Venezuela. Hello, Marco. So nice to see you. And there is hellos from the UK as well. Oh my gosh. And we've got Betty from Tennessee, United States, Sylvia from Lubbock, Texas. Welcome. So nice to join. Isabel from Canada. Nicole also from Canada, marking some Ontario. We've got Ganilla from North Sweden as well. And it's just great. It's just wonderful seeing everybody here. And we've got Luis from Mexico as well. And we've got Daniel also mentioning here, very interesting, just put it up here. Daniel says, yesterday I was able to see and photograph Venus, Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn from southeastern Pennsylvania. Yeah, we'll get to that, Daniel, and everyone showcasing what Daniel is talking about. A beautiful lineup of planets in the morning skies. We're just going to finish up here on the evening skies and then go into the early morning as well. Here's Wala from Jordan saying, we're happy to see the crescent moon for this month as it's related to our Eid. Yes, very much so. And for celebrations, it means a lot, I know, for you guys there. Hello from Colombia, Leonardo. Welcome, welcome. Very nice. So what we're seeing here is the moon entering the constellation of Gemini, right? So I've got this set up, let me see, for Wednesday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you, of course, on 4th. Haha, reference to Star Wars, of course. And there we are. It's entering Gemini. And what's really neat, and I'm going to put on deep sky objects, when the moon is a thin crescent, it doesn't the glare from the moon doesn't kind of wash out too much the brighter deep sky objects like star clusters. And if you look on Wednesday, May 4th, now I've turned on here all these names and numbers that you see on the screen all represent deep sky objects, objects beyond the solar system. And look at there, right next to the moon, at the feet of one of the Gemini twins, the Castor to be specific, there's the head of each of the twins marked. Let me just roll out there. There's, you see Pollux and Castor, two very bright stars, easily visible even from city limits. So if you're stuck within city, you can see these two stars, Pollux and Castor, and the moon will be just underneath it. And if you take your binoculars and telescopes and you look just to the left of the moon, you'll see there is a star cluster. And if I zoom in, you'll see it much better. There we are. There's the star cluster. It's called M35. And M35 is a beautiful star cluster. It's in Gemini, like I said. It can be seen with the naked eye under very dark sky conditions. So if you're out in the countryside, you can spot this star cluster just. I mean, it is magnitude 5, so it is within limits of naked eye viewing. But because the crescent moon is very close to it, I would probably hazard a guess that you won't be able to see it because of the glare of that crescent moon. But with binoculars, it'll be a cinch. And what's neat is that this star cluster is about 3,000 light years away. And this is what it looks like. You can see this right there close up. It even has what looks like a globular cluster very close to it, a very tight-knit cluster. But this one here that you're seeing is just gorgeous, 3,000 light years away. This looks like a horde of diamonds, blue-white diamonds, just absolutely gorgeous. That's what's waiting for you on Wednesday, May 4th, right next to the crescent moon. And if we continue the journey of the crescent moon, on the rest of the week, see by Thursday, May 5th, the moon is going to be tucked right underneath the pair Pollux and Castor. And look at this. By Friday, May 6th in the evening, look at that crescent moon pairing up with the Gemini twins, Pollux and Castor. Now, Pollux and Castor, very bright stars. They'll be competing for your attention on Friday. And Pollux, just so that you know, Pollux is this yellowish star that is 34 light years away, while Castor, right next to it, is a very distinctly white star that is 50.9 light years away. So imagine light takes just over 50 years to travel through space to reach your eye from Castor. And this beautiful pairing is what's waiting for you on Friday, May 6th. Now, one other thing before we're heading into the planetary lineup in the morning skies is a beautiful meteor shower. I know all of you guys love meteor showers. It's very easy to see, no telescopes or binoculars required. And this one's called the Eta Aquarids. The Eta Aquarids, I'm going to just punch this into my software. And the Eta Aquarids are below in the early evening. This is something that you want to wait until it's late at night. After local midnight is really when you want to go see this. And I'm just going to pop this in. There you can see it pop some of the shooting stars starting to appear. I'm going to turn off I'm going to turn off all those deep sky objects because they're just annoying me right now. And we're going to look at as what we call the radiant of the shower peaks above the eastern horizon. And this happens around we can see, let me just go now. We'll go here. I'm going to put it to May 6th, and we're going to go, this is in the morning, but we're going to get this up. You can see that it peaks above the local horizon around 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, you don't have to wait until 2 o'clock in the morning to see these shooting stars. They will be visible after midnight. Now, why I'm saying after midnight is because the crescent moon, I should say the waxing moon, if I just go into the hours here, after this is just sunset. And as we go forward, the moon will be out of the way for this, for the radiant to be visible. And you can expect anywhere from 10 to 30 shooting stars per hour. It depends on your sky conditions. If you're stuck in the city, expect lower rates, maybe closer to 10 meteors per hour. If you're out in the dark countryside, you'll see a lot more. And for those of you that are in the southern hemisphere, this Eta Aquarid meteor shower is really well positioned for you. You guys can see more shooting stars. The reason is because the radiant is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is better positioned this time of the year for those of you that are in the southern hemisphere, and it'll rise higher in the sky, the radiant. Now, what is it when I say the radiant? If you look at this graphic, you see that all the shooting stars are kind of radiating out from that one point in the sky. That's where the name of the meteor shower comes from, the Aquarius constellation. That's why they're named the Aquarids. Eta Aquarids is the specific name of this one. There you go. You can see it. And it's coming out of almost that bucket that's pouring out water that Aquarius mythological figure has in his hand. And what's really neat is look what's underneath where the radiant is the lineup of planets: Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus. Now, Jupiter and Venus were super tight this past weekend. On April 30th and May 1st, they were really tight together. And now they're pulling apart. And you can see that from night to night. So this is the view on May 6th, Friday morning before sunrise. Best time to see the Aquarid meteor shower will be late Thursday night, after midnight into the early morning hours, your time, wherever you are around the world, until dawn approaches. And the light from the oncoming sunrise will wash out the meteors. So you want to get that dark sweet spot of time, which is around between midnight and dawn on Friday. And you'll see this beautiful sight, including Jupiter, Venus, and Mars and Saturn, all clustered in the eastern part of your sky. Just beautiful. And you've got a beautiful meteor shower waiting for you. I mean, what more could you ask for? So it's really a great show this week. You've got watch the moon in the evening sky all week. Thin crescent moon as it's getting wider and wider in its phase, pairing up with the M35 star cluster. Just beautiful. And then, of course, the meteor shower on Friday morning. Now, if you're clouded out, don't worry. Try Thursday night, try Friday night as well into Saturday morning. Those are the best times really to see the peak of the Eta Aquarid meteor shower, and watch for those fireballs. Those are those unusually bright meteors. All meteor showers at the peaks time are great opportunities to see these really magical, very dramatic, bright meteors also. So watch for those. Lots of wishes to be made. And a little hint, we're coming up on May 15th, 16th. Don't forget, we'll have a beautiful lunar eclipse, the blood moon eclipse. So stay tuned for more information about that. I'll have an article in National Geographic coming out later this week, all about how to watch that and where you'll get the best ringside seats for the lunar eclipse on May 15th and 16th. And I'll be talking next Monday about that as well. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy. If you like my videos, please show your support by subscribing to my channels and hit that notification button so you don't miss the next video, and share it as well with your friends and family. Let's get more people looking up. And with that, I wish all of you guys, of course, clear skies. Until next time, bye-bye.